Welcome back. This is Bonita Creek RC, and today we're going to put some Injora silicone inserts inside these little guy racing parts claw hammers. These tires are pretty good in the stock foams. I think they're a little over firm vertically, but they're too soft sideways and they do mush over a lot. So these should help with that. Now I don't know if they're going to be too wide or not. I think it'll change the profile of the tire. I think it'll make them a little wider, and then I don't know if they'll be taller or not. They'll probably be a little wider and a tiny bit shorter, but I don't know. Alright, so let's go hit the course and just see how they do, and we'll see if these improve forward drive or if the stock foams are any better. Because usually single stage foams, they usually have a little more forward drive than like a silicone insert, but then I don't know, these might be a little over firm. Like just sitting on the ground, like they do have a little bag at the bottom, and then with some more pressure, then they definitely do squish quite a bit. So we'll just have to see how these work. They worked pretty good inside these swamp claws, but I have them, so I wanted to try them out in these. Plus it'd be good to have a little extra weight at each corner, so let's go hit the rocks. All right, out on the course, let's see how the claw hammers do. So we're getting some conformity on the sidewall there. It's just out of frame, I think, is that rock, but like this is pretty solid right here. And I'm not sure how these tires like big overdrive. This has 33% underdrive in it, so I think they would do better with like 25, but I don't know. All right, let's see how it does going up this. We go over to the left a little bit. Let's see, try and get the driver front tire over. Kind of messed the entry up, but still doing pretty good on it. Now let's just go off the side here. That's pretty good. I was thinking it's gonna flop because the sidewalls were collapsing quite a bit, so we'll have to go off the side there and see if it behaves differently. I'm thinking it'll probably be a little more stable since the sidewall won't be smashing over, but see how it does on the next one. All right, let's see how the forward drive looks over here on the river rock. Let's get right there. Oh, that's a fallback there. It keeps having some fallback. Let's see. There we go. Just go up around the edge of the top of the log there. And see how tight it comes around. There we go. Alright, I got these all mounted up, and they're a fair bit softer vertically, so that should be good. And the sidewall is a bit firmer, but they still do kind of squish over a little bit, and that's just because the tire carcass is so thin. And the silicone insert also kind of gave the sidewall like a rounder profile. The stock foams, like the sidewalls were very straight, and now they kind of look bulging out a little, which looks better. It looks like it has air pressure in it. And these weigh so much more now. I think each insert weighs like, I can't remember if it's 9 or 11 grams, but that's a lot more because these weigh pretty much nothing. And then these weigh a lot. So we'll get these put on and we'll go hit the rocks. Okay, and with the silicone inserts, this weighs 481.6 grams. And it really feels heavy. Now it doesn't have like a normal chassis and then a body on it. The cage is all one piece and the skid plate bolts into it. But it is 3D printed, so it is kind of heavy, but yeah. And I think the flex is going to be a little more because it would kind of bind a little bit. The shock bodies in the rear hit this bar right here. I can't do much about it anymore. I did file a little bit on the inside edge of it, and I spaced the shocks out, but really it doesn't need any more flex than that. Like that's more than necessary. But like that looks cool. Like when you're driving out on the rocks and like it's flexing, and like, yeah, that's cool. So I think it's going to be more stable, and I think the forward drive is going to go up because these are a fair bit softer. There's a lot more bag at the bottom of the tire just sitting there, and just to the touch, like these are a lot softer. And the side walls are firmer. They do mush over a little bit, but not nearly as bad. So I'm excited to see how these do. Let's go hit the rocks. Okay, out on the course with the silicone inserts. Let's see how they do. Yeah, that's pretty much the same. But with the extra weight, the steering is kind of underpowered now. The servo doesn't have enough torque. It gets bound up kind of easily. Alright, let's see how it does here. Okay, it had a bit more forward drive coming up over there, and then it was a bit more stable over here. And I'm surprised I was able to save that. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I think the forward drive is going to be pretty similar. It's just the extra weight is going to make it more stable. Okay, and to finish it up, we'll do this line on the river rock here. We'll see how they do. That's a lot better. I think the extra weight just helped keep it planted in the front. Before, when it kept having fallback and the back tire kept coming back down that edge right there, it just didn't quite have enough weight. And yeah, that's very good right there. Let's see how it does going up over the top. He's cut it back so it lines up going through the notch. Perfect. This whole line right here, that's pretty much perfect. All right, back on the bench. I highly recommend putting the silicone inserts inside the claw hammers. Like, they just fit perfectly in there, and it's just a lot better. They're softer vertically. It gives it a little bit better forward drive just because it can conform better. And the sidewall support is very good. With the stock foams, they just mash over all the time, but now it's pretty firm on the sidewall. It still goes over some, but it's pretty good. And the added weight does help a lot. Now, this servo that I have in it I always kind of felt like it didn't have quite enough torque. Like, it's a really fast servo, but doesn't have a ton of torque, so it's kind of underpowered with the extra weight now. I just need to get a better servo for it. I want to thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll see you in the next one.